welcome to Tutorati Kids. My name is Sharwani and we are studying algebra. Okay, so you remember in the past couple of lectures we started with a new chapter called linear pair of equations in two variables, right? So we saw four different methods of finding their solutions, right? Four different methods of finding their solutions. Now in today's lecture what we are going to do is we are going to try and understand the nature of these solutions, okay? The nature of these solutions and significantly their equations. So the two topics name for today is consistency and inconsistency, okay? Now these are seemingly new terms for us, so we are going to try and understand what this is through examples, alright? So here's the first example. If you take x plus y plus 3 equals to 0 and the second equation being x minus y plus 1 equals to 0, okay? Now you are well aware with four different methods of solving linear pair of equations. So you choose any method, okay, solve these equations by any method and you'll get the value of x as 2 and y as 1, okay? So x is equals to 2 and y is equals to 1 is the only solution possible for the given equations, okay? You can use any method to find out the value of these equations, but the solution will remain the same, okay? Now what you can say, interesting fact about these equations is that if you take the equations individually, okay, if you take the equations individually, they will have infinite number of solutions. Let's take example. Let's elaborate on this part a little bit more. Now let's take x plus y plus 3 equals to 0. Okay, we're going to try to find the values of x and y. Okay, we are going to try to find the values of x and y. Just this equation. So you remember how we did this in graphical method? You assume the value of one variable, you substitute it back in the equation and you got the value of the other variable, right? Now x can take infinite number of values and significantly you will get infinite number of values for y. This is what the statement is suggesting here. Individually, like if you take the equation one at a time, the linear equation in two variables will have infinite solutions, okay? This is what the concept is about. But which means that in one linear equation in two variables, we will get infinite values of x and y that will eventually satisfy this equation. We just saw it right now. If you want, you can take any one of the equation and find the statement true for yourselves, alright? But when we take the two different equations simultaneously, okay, we obtain one unique solution. Okay? So here we'll say that the solution is unique. If you try to represent this graphically, what will you get? Intersecting lines, right? We have studied this in graphical method. One equation represents a line. If you have a unique solution, that means these lines eventually are going to be intersecting in one point and this point is your solution, right? Now let's move on to one more different type of equation, okay? So, pair of equations. So you have 2x minus y minus 1 equals to 0 and 2x minus y minus 4 equals to 0, okay? Observe the coefficients, okay, here. If we subtract equation 2 from equation 1, let's subtract equation 2 from equation 1, what will you get? Minus, plus, minus, first of all change the signs of the second equation and then 2x minus 2x will get cancelled out, okay? Minus y plus y will also get cancelled out, okay? So what is left on the left hand side? 0. And what will you obtain on the right hand side? 1 minus 4, which is equals to minus 3. But both the variables here are eliminated. Do we need both the variables eliminated? No, we do not need both the variables eliminated. We need at least one variable to find the value and resubstitute to get the value of the second variable. But here, unfortunately, both are eliminated. What do we do then? And on the left hand side, we are left with 0 and on the right hand side, we have 3 left. So is 0 equals to 3? No, this is absolutely not true. Therefore, this pair of equations will have no solution. And if you want to represent this graphically, that means the pair of equations do not intersect, so they are parallel lines. Okay, so this is the graphical representation of no solution. Okay, are we clear so far? Let's take a third case with two different equations, which is x minus y minus 2 equals to 0, and the second equation is 2x minus 2y minus 4 equals to 0. Now observe an interesting fact here. If I multiply the first equation by 2, what do I get? 2x minus 2y minus 4 equals to 0. Is this equation similar to your second equation? Yes, it is. And if you divide the second equation by 2, what will you get? X minus y minus 2 equals to 0. And is this equation similar to the first one? So basically, with a little tweaking, we get the same set of equations over and over again. So what we want to conclude here is that observe the two equations, multiply first by 2, we get equation 2, and if we divide equation 2 by 2, then we get the equation 1, which means equation 1 and 2 may look different, but they are actually the same equations with different multiples, right? They are the same equations with different multiples. So hence we can say that equation 1 and equation 2 have the same set of solutions. Now remember what we said about the first equation. Individually, the equation has infinite number of values. So if these two equations are one and the same, they will also have infinite solutions. Since the equations are same, they will have infinite solutions. How do you graphically represent them then? All the set of equations, all the set of solutions are same. That means the lines are overlapping. Okay, that means the lines are overlapping. Is the graphical representation clear to you all? Yes. But this was not what we initially started. Our topic's name was consistency and inconsistency. So the nature of equations here is one where we find the solutions, one where we obtain the solutions. That is, in the first case and the third case, the solutions are, or the equations are consistent in nature. Alright, the equations are consistent in nature. What about the case where we find no solutions? That becomes inconsistent. Okay, when we find solutions, the nature of the equations is consistent, and when we find no solution, the nature of the equations is inconsistent. Okay, let's try to pull this up together in one table and try to understand this one more time. Now before that, we want to establish conditions. Okay, so let's move on to the conditions of this nature, consistent and inconsistent. Okay, so observe 1 and 2. Now compare this with the standard form. What is the standard form of linear pair of equations? Ax plus by plus c equals to 0. Okay, so we are going to try to establish the conditions here. So what is it now? So from 1, the equation 1 you have to compare with a1, b1, c1, and the equation 2 you have to compare with a2, b2 and c2. Okay, so writing the values of a1, b1 and c1, which is 1, 1 and 3, and a2, b2, c2 is 1, minus 1 and 1. Okay, 1, minus 1 and 1. This is what we have. Now observe this. If you take a ratio of a1 upon a2, the ratio is 1, right? And if we take a ratio of b1 upon b2, the ratio is minus 1. So we can conclude that a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2. And this holds true for all the equations which have a unique solution and which are consistent. Are you understanding this? This is the condition for consistency with unique solution. Okay, this is the condition for consistency with unique solution. Now moving on to solution inconsistent nature. Okay, so now for inconsistent, again compare it with the standard form, obtain a1, b1 and c1, and from equation 2, a2, b2 and c2. So these are the values you get from the equation. Now see here, a1 upon a2 is 1, b1 upon b2 is also 1, but c1 upon c2 is what? 1 upon 4, which means it is not equal to 1. So the condition that we are going to establish here is a1 upon a2 is equals to b1 upon b2, but it is not equal to c1 upon c2. Alright, so this is the condition for inconsistent equations. Okay, this is the condition for inconsistent equation, which means they have no solution. Alright, coming to the last part, which is consistency with infinite solutions. Okay, consistency with infinite solutions. Now observe A1, B1 and C1 also obtained from equation to A2, B2 and C2. Now again take the ratio. A1 upon A2 is what? 1 upon 2. Okay. B1 upon B2 is also 1 upon 2 and C1 upon C2 is also 1 upon 2, which means that all the three ratios are in proportion. So you can say that A1 upon A2 equals to B1 upon B2 equals to C1 upon C2. This is the condition for consistent equations with infinite solutions. Okay. So these three are the conditions that you need to remember in order to identify the nature of the equations. Consistent with unique solution, inconsistent with no solution, and consistent with infinite solutions. Now we are going to pull this all together into a proper table and try to remember this in a systematic way. Okay, so I am going to make a table. First of all, the condition. What is the first condition? A1 upon A2 is not equals to B1 upon B2. What is the graphical representation of this? Intersecting lines. Okay, and what is the algebraic interpretation? That it has a unique solution. And what is it? Consistent or inconsistent? It is consistent. Okay, so this is how we are going to try to remember this. The condition is A1 upon A2 is not equals to B1 upon B2. Graphically you will get intersecting lines. Algebraic interpretation will be that it has one and only one solution, which is going to be unique. And consistent or inconsistent? Well, it is consistent. Okay, second condition, A1 upon A2 equals to B1 upon B2 is not equal to C1 upon C2. Now what type of graphical presentation are we going to get? Parallel lines. Okay, we are going to get parallel lines. What about the algebraic interpretation? It will have no solution. It will have no solution. Consistent or inconsistent? It is inconsistent. Okay, so this is the second condition. Now the third and the last condition is all the ratios are in proportion. That is A1 upon A2 equals to B1 upon B2 equals to C1 upon C2. What is the graphical presentation of this? The graphical presentation of this is that you have overlapping lines. That means the lines are one and the same with different representation. So you get overlapping lines. What is the algebraic interpretation? How many solutions do you have? Infinite number of solutions. Okay, and whether the nature is consistent or inconsistent, it is consistent. Okay, so this is the table that you need to remember every time you want to identify the nature of your equations. Alright, now let's solve a couple of sums based on these conditions and try to understand in details how are we going to solve it. Okay, so this is the first equation. Okay, first question. On comparing the ratios A1 upon A2, B1 upon B2 and C1 upon C2, find out, what do we need? We need to find out whether the lines are representing the following pair of linear equations intersect at a point, are parallel or coincident. That means graphical presentation is mentioned here. Okay, graphical presentation is mentioned here. Let's try to recall our box. Okay, so what was it? For intersecting lines and consistency, you need a unique solution. So the condition was A1 upon A2 is not equal to B1 upon B2. For parallel lines, the nature is inconsistent. That means you have no solution. And the condition was A1 upon A2 is equals to B1 upon B2 is not equal to C1 upon C2. Also, for coincident line, that means overlapping lines. Okay, it is one and the same thing. The nature of the equations is consistent. That means you have infinite solutions, and the condition is A1 is equals to A1 upon A2 is equals to B1 upon B2 is equals to C1 upon C2. Alright, now let's take equations. So this is the first set of equations that you have. 5x minus 4y plus 8 equals to 0 and 7x plus 6y minus 9 equals to 0. So first thing what you do, compare it to the standard form. Okay, comparing equation 1 with a1x plus b1y plus c1 equals to 0 and equation 2 with a2x plus b2y plus c2 equals to 0. So obtain the value of a1, which is 5, b2 is minus 4, c1 is 8, and the second equation a2 is 7, b2 is 6 and c2 is minus 9. Once you obtain that, quickly move on to obtaining the ratios. So a1 upon a2, it is pretty evident, it is 5 upon 7. b1 upon b2 is equals to minus 4 upon 6, which can be further divided, but let us leave it at that. And c1 upon c2 is equals to 8 upon minus 9. Okay. Now, carefully look at the ratios. Are any ratios in proportion? No, they are all different. So we can identify from all these three ratios is that a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2. Okay, we do not need to go to c1 upon c2 because we have established our initial condition, which is we have intersecting lines and the nature is consistent. Okay, so we conclude by saying that the lines are intersecting. Okay, the lines are intersecting. One more example. Now this set of equations is 9x plus 3y plus 12 equals to 0 and 18x plus 6y plus 24 equals to 0. So for solution, again we need to remember this box. Okay, so to get the, we need to compare this to standard form. First number the equations. Okay, now compare them with the standard forms. Obtain the values of a1, b1 and c1 from the respective equations. Okay, so you have a2 is equals to 18, b2 is equals to 6 and c2 is equals to 24. Okay, now quickly proceed to obtaining the ratios. a1 upon a2, which is 9 upon 18, which can be further written as 1 upon 2, right? So this is my first ratio. Moving on to the next one, which is b1 upon b2, which is equals to 3 upon 6. Divided further, you will get 1 upon 2. So we are nearing the second condition. Now it all depends on c1 upon c2. So we move further and obtain c1 upon c2, which is 12 upon 24. Okay, 12 upon 24, which is again 1 upon 2. Now what can you conclude from this? That all the three ratios are in proportion. That means we have obtained the third condition. Okay, we have obtained the third condition. So from the three ratios, a1 upon a2 equals to b1 upon b2 equals to c1 upon c2. So this is the condition that is established here. So we can say that the lines are coincident. Okay, the lines are coincident. That's it for today, from today's lecture. Okay, so we have studied what is consistency and inconsistency. These are the nature of the solutions and in turn their equations. Okay, stay tuned for the next lecture. Thank you and take care. Also, if you've not subscribed already and hit the bell button, please do that. Thank you.